Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and today we'll be playing Love and Everblood Episode 1, a game by our good friend Lemonace on the channel. I believe this is an AU from the Cardinal Parquet series. This game contains 2 hot dudes, childhood friend shenanigans, and a big-ass magic school. Reader discretion, as always, is advised. Now, let's start this little story from episode 1. A few weeks ago, you managed to get yourself accepted to the Everblood Academy for Sorcery.
Sorry.
Can you just take the bag? Just take it out. If you hear a bunch of crinkling, that's Ginger beside me. The Everblood Academy for Sorcery. How pleasant. In the days leading up to class, you packed your entire life into a couple of suitcases. Mom was more than happy about your acceptance. So much so that your old bedroom was revamped into a guest bedroom. Gone were all of the cracks in the walls, the questionable heater, and the hard bed, painted over with money your mother claimed to not have. Yeah, you know when you're not wanted. You're not that dumb. At least it's a win-win for you and your mom. Nice. Everblood Academy is located high in Diamond Ridge, mostly because if a magical mishap occurs, it'll at least be contained to this isolated wasteland. Ah, that reminds me of a certain Nordic city. You've never seen snow before, you'll have to get used to it here. Is this one also built on a cliff? After a long-ass carriage ride, you're dropped off at one of the dormitory halls. The building is adorned with stone arches, golden statues, and even a few balconies for some of the suites. Perfect for jumping off of! Wonderful. You're greeted by cold air that prickles your entire body. You feel all of your hair spiking up like a cat's. Still, the cold can't stifle your excitement at the fact that I'm finally here. Rude much? Anyways, aside from that little interruption, you're stupid excited. Like a puppy when they see their beloved owner. You calm yourself down a bit. Wouldn't want to gush over the gilded statues with a bunch of rich kids around. For the most part, you don't know rich kids to be the nicest people. Sure, they don't go out of their way to humiliate you, but you can't help but think they look at you like some poor puppy. Hell, even one well-off person you liked was kind of like that. You always seem to overcompensate for something. I really want to get a good look around here. Sadly, I'm too carriage lagged. Well, there's always tomorrow to explore a bit. Carriage lag, the worst. There's nothing more you need to do today. You have all of your stuff, you have your schedule. All that good registration stuff was done before this wondrous day. You lug your luggage up the stairs of the residence hall, grateful for how little you have. Though it would be quite the disservice to call this place a residence hall. It's a whole-ass castle, for fuck's sake. Might not be a castle to some of those wealthy kids, but it surely is to you. Thinking about rich people makes you think about that friend you had a few years back. He was probably the closest to wealth you've ever gotten to. Even then, the cashmere turtlenecks and wool coats weren't much compared to these massive halls. Ah, the good old days. Damn, too young to be getting all nostalgic. Haven't seen that guy ever since the move. Wonder how he's doing now. As soon as you reach your room, you flop on the luxurious bed, not even bothering to unpack. You can wait a day or two. Wait, Clock, you messed up again. What did I mess up on? Everything. Everything. As you sleep, the thoughts of your old friend drift to the back of your mind. Me clicking my pen. You wake up to a brand new day. At that, your very first day at the academy. Rise and shine. You're gonna have a great day today. Cat fixed it, don't worry. Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, just chatting? Oh, that's fine. I'm fine with that. You wake the fuck up, samurai. Practically jump out of bed, throw your flannel on, brush your teeth, shove textbooks into your pockets, because what prospective mage doesn't shove random shit into their infinite pockets? Then you rush the hell out the door, even though you're not late. In contrast with how happy you feel, it's gray, cold, and gloomy outside. Ah, I love that. You're not used to seeing this much snow and ice outside, but you'll adjust eventually. The warmest piece of clothing you have is a flannel jacket. Based? Yeah, that's not gonna do jack shit here, but it's better than going out in a t-shirt and shorts. Now, I just need to find where my first class is. Where the heck did I put my timetable? Is this a little loud for you guys? Let me know. Aha! Got it. Looks like my first class is... Hexing 201, room 505. Great Tower. Maybe it is a little loud. Maybe just a little bit loud. Maybe just, maybe just like 5%. Okay. 5% less. That's good, right? That's good. That's good, right? Now it's good. Yo! Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. The Hobnobbler nobbling again on the Hobs. What the hell? Thank you so much, bro. Much appreciated. Thank you. You get that 35% off still? Based. Maybe a bit still a little loud, actually. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. Back to the game. Hexing 201, room 505. Great Tower. You look around and see a massive tower looming in the distance. No way in hell that's not the Great Tower. You rush over to the massive tower, snowflakes stinging your flushed face. True, you don't need to run. That's why you woke up 2 hours before classes. But there's always the chance you get lost, arrive to class late, make a shitty first impression. Then you're gonna have to do even more to gain the respect of others. You had your time for punking out in high school. Now's the time to get serious. Alrighty, I'm here at the inferior tower. Well, the signs never lie. And here you are, about to wallow in your misery. At least I got my daily run in. Guess that's one way to cope with the time and energy you wasted. Given that the fact that the grandiose tower is the so-called inferior tower, you see no reason why the stout tower shouldn't be the great tower. So you run in the direction of the petite tower. As you enter the stout tower, you realize why it's called the great tower. What this tower lacks in height, it makes up for in airiness. Not a single soul is in here with you. Now maybe it's because of how early you woke up. Still, doesn't make it feel less eerie. At least you're gonna be the first student to class. Back at your old magic school, you were pretty notorious for being a complete mess. Most thought it was because you were some kind of punk, but you really just had no clue what the fuck you were doing. But this is the start, a new start for you. A chance to finally become the electricity mage you've always wanted to be. Slow your pace down a bit. Wouldn't want to be caught running in the halls. After all, that would give off the impression that you're some kind of punk. Not to mention that you'd look rather silly tripping on the icy ground. You pause. The clacking of what you think are heels continues. Looks like you're not the only one here. Probably a professor. Come on, Adrian. Make a good first impression on the professor. You straighten your posture as much as possible, then pull out some books from your pockets. Gotta look as studious as possible. As the footsteps draw closer and closer, you expect the sight of a stern professor. Much to your surprise, however, it's just some hot twink. A tall young man glides by, clad in an all-black ensemble. A dark coat is draped over his shoulders, flowing behind him with his fast pace. He almost doesn't notice you, his cold, purple eyes glued to a book. He swerves out of the way, like he somehow knows where everything and everyone in the hall is. When he passes, you feel a chill run down your spine, like he's an apparition going through you. The clacks of small heels create an unwavering pulse in the hollow halls. Slowly, the beat fades out as he walks away. He almost reminds me of... No. That can't be right. What would the odds even be for us to meet again? The spontaneity of it and the man's apathetic look are enough to convince you that you were hallucinating. You haven't had any energy potions today. Maybe you need a small dose to stop yourself from having visions of pretty dudes. Oh no. You slowly make your way to room 505, the man's presence still lingering in your mind. You can't quite put your finger on why you're fixated on him. Yeah, you've seen many pretty guys before, but this one seems to have ensnared you in his gaze. Alright, I'm not going to begin daydreaming in class about him. I've got better things to do. Like making good first impressions. You sit your ass down in the second row. Too close to the front, and the professor's gonna watch you like a hawk. Not to mention that you're gonna isolate yourself from the rest of the class. Too far back, and everyone's gonna think you're a bad apple. Yes, you know that this is some bullshit high school logic that should have been left the minute you entered college. But you sometimes wonder if other people are stuck in this high school mindset like you are. You're not about to delve deep into the psyche of teenagers suddenly turning into adults, though. You'll save that for later. For now, it's time to open up the lovely textbook you had to buy for an arm and a leg, Hexing for Dumbasses, Volume 2. Skim through a couple of pages for what you think is a few minutes. Its hold on you is so strong that it probably hexed you the minute you opened it. Based? It's practical as heck for your shitty attention span, but at the same time, it fucks with your time perception. Before you know it, the entire class has trickled into the room. You hear them chattering about random stuff. Stuff about boys, girls, how hot the teaching assistant is, all that good, normal magic college shit. Or magic high school, for that matter. No matter how much you tell yourself you're in college, you still feel like you're fresh out of high school. Especially since you still need to be at the command of others. You perk up when a booming voice announces, "Good morning, Hexing 201 Section X. I'm Professor Incendio, and I'll be teaching y'all how to use all kinds of hexes. Nasty ones, nice ones, even ones to summon demons." For some reason, the look of Professor Incendio reminds you of Dad. Not even your dad, specifically, just a generic dad. Whatever the hell a generic dad is supposed to be anyways. You hear students chattering in hushed tones. Like we should summon a demon, ask it to make us hot. Fuck no, Millie. Terrible idea. Your loss! Professor Incendio makes note of the chattering students. Placing his wand to his jaw, he announces, "Settle down, class." Ah, voice enhancements. What lovely things they are. You hear pitched ringing in your ears, but everyone shuts the fuck up. Now, where were we? Oh, right. Adrian, triple question mark. I want you all to meet your TA. Professor Incendio beckons over to a tall young man. Of course, it's Oliver. Of course. I mean, who? Who? His eyes look to be glued to his tall, heeled boots. Oh, wait a damn minute. It's that guy again. So I'm not going batshit insane? The man beside Professor Incendio stands in silence for a bit, like he's assessing the rest of the students. He finally opens his mouth. My name is Oliver Cypress. I'll be your TA for the semester, as Professor Incendio stated. I'm a junior plant mage, so you can come to me with questions about your classes or potential career paths. You can't quite put your finger on how to describe his voice. The closest comparison you can make is to snow. Cold, but soft. Something about that name rings a bell. Yeah, a certain Cardinal Park case. Cypress, Oliver Cypress. Where have I heard that name before? I don't know. Kind of reminds me of like a cabin with a fever. You hear some of the female students and male students tittering a bit. Tit. Looks like this Oliver guy was the subject of those discussions about the hot TA. His face remains statuesque as he looks over the students until he reaches you. He holds his gaze for a bit. Can't read what he's thinking. As the two of you lock eyes, you try to poke through your memories to determine the source of this familiarity. You think you can see hints of perplexion in his face, too. But the moment is so brief that you don't get to think on it too long. Oliver resumes his commanding presence, almost like he didn't begin staring at you for a bit. Everyone in the class, he's already picked his crush. Oliver conjures a large stack of fat packets, small flower at the top of the pile. Based. You wonder where the flower came from. His general presence makes you think he's an ice, wind, or water mage. Ice mage, ice mage, ice mage. Ice is the coolest! He quickly brushes the blossom off and distributes the paper with what you're pretty sure is a levitation spell. Wingardium Levio... Sometimes you think it would be more efficient to just do things manually. It really is. But this is an exception. The packets divide up into an array, such that they're above each and every desk. Most of your attempts with levitation magic aren't this uniform and perfect. Usually they end with someone being smacked in the face. Your face, mostly. As you look at Oliver, he's not even breaking a sweat. Heck, he didn't even pull out a wand for this shit. He releases the papers, all of them falling onto the desk with a loud, uniform thud. You look at the paper. Seems like a quiz. You hear moaning and groaning throughout the room. This is just a little quiz to get an idea of where you stand with regards to hexing. It's not going to count towards your final grade, however, so it's fine if you do horribly. It won't count towards the final grade, huh? You can all begin now. You hear the scritches and scratches of pencils against paper. You turn towards the first page. Wait a second. The hell's an Amovio hex? As you flip through the paper, you find all kinds of shit you either don't know or have a vague memory of. Well, Professor Incendio did mention that this wouldn't make an impact on the final grade. You're still supposed to know some of this, though. Plus, I don't think he'd think I'm a punk for not knowing half of this. Should I just give up on most of these questions? Maybe I'd have more time to read over the textbook after class. Hell yeah, fuck no. Okay. Save button? But also, I believe the log button is a trap. I believe if I press the log button, we all die, chat. So don't hit that if you're gonna play this yourself. I'm gonna say, should I give up on most of these questions? Maybe I have more time. We're gonna say fuck no on that. You know, I feel like we should not give up. You know, we're not a quitter, okay? We fail horribly, okay? When I took that French exam in high school for my last year of French, I finished that shit out. I was writing gibberish for 90% of it, but I finished it all right. Never gonna give you up. You try your best on each and every question, thinking hard for the trickier ones. One by one, students trickle out of the classroom, turning their quizzes in at the front desk. Never give up. Before you know it, you're one of the few students left. Your feet tap anxiously against the floor as you near the end of the quiz. And done. Quiz in hand, you walk up to the front desk and place the packet on top of the others, right by Oliver. He's marking the quizzes down with a fountain pen, complete with blood-red ink. Looks like this quiz was an absolute bloodbath. You rush back to your desk, pack your shit up, and go, making sure to wish Professor Incendio a good day. You could have sworn, though, that through the corner of your eye you saw a hint of amusement in Oliver's face, probably thanks to the quizzes. Should have blew him a kiss, man. By the time you enter the hallway, you're still trying to dissect Oliver's face. What was he thinking when he looked through the quizzes, when he saw you? Wait a sec, the heck am I paying so much attention to him? You initially think it's because he's hot as hell. But that doesn't make any sense. Plenty of guys at this academy are hot. None of them have enchanted you like this one. Then you think that he placed a hex on you. The thing is that there's no way he could have placed a hex that strong on me. Right? The one thing that stays constant in your thoughts is familiarity. I swear that I've seen that twink somewhere before! Sorry, guy. You're about to run off to who knows where when you realize your shoelace is untied. I like the heeled boots, I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit. I didn't even hear him approach me. Oliver absolutely towers over you. It's the heels. Alright, maybe not absolutely. You're on the ground for fuck's sake. Am I in trouble or something? That's the only thing that could explain Oliver's grim expression. Do you mind if I speak with you? I really like his hairstyle in this one. Has this always been his hairstyle? Is this new? I don't know why. I really like the jacket, though. I love seeing his jacket. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this character. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, you know what? Chat's a little big, too. Let me make chat a little bit smaller. You know, we can make them a little bit smaller. They don't need to be so goddamn big. Do you mind if I speak with you? Sure. He begins to walk away. Looks like when he asked, do you mind, he really meant it that way. Hold on, I don't mind. Oliver stops in his tracks, then turns back to you. He doesn't say a peep for a long moment. Almost like he didn't have a clue on how to start this conversation. That's literally something I would do. What the fuck, Oliver? It's too true, though. You just if you always think of yourself as an annoyance, this is the shit you end up doing. Your name is Adrian Volts, correct? Yes. Something glimmers in his face. I knew you looked familiar. Sorry if this is coming out of nowhere. The stutter in his voice feels so different from his voice during class. Sounds like the icicles on his tongue are melting. I was thinking the same thing. You blurt out without thinking. You're about to retract it when... It's just that. Your face, name, mannerisms. They're familiar. Then I thought you were someone I knew, long ago. Oliver stares off into nowhere. I know that this is strange, to say the least. It is. It's strange that we're both thinking the same thing. When did you know this person? 5 years ago. You reach back into your memories. You did have a friend back then, a pretty close one. Only 5 years? What? Hex. Magic. We knew each other from elementary school. They'd visit my house almost every single day. We did what children were meant to do, just exist without the weight of age. That friend was whisked away to God knows where by their parent, right? But they had a pretty good last day together. Eating at places, probably pissing their parents off, all that good stuff. That day, the last day you were in libretto state, it was the best and worst day of your life. You made the most of it thanks to your friend. But that was the first day you had ever felt such a crushing dread. Dread that you never see that friend again. Until today. Something clicks in both of your heads as you bounce the memories off of each other. Somehow both of your recollections line up perfectly. It all confirms what you were thinking. I thought I'd never... You cut each other off. Nice going. Oliver breaks the silence after a few seconds. You go first. I thought I'd never see you again. What are the odds we end up at the same school? I almost didn't recognize you at first. You look so different. The same could be said for you, Adrian. When did you dye your hair? Didn't expect you to notice. I did this Prisma Hex a few weeks ago. Mom was pissed for days, but eventually she wanted her hair done too. It suits you. You changed a lot more than I did, though. Where'd the glasses go? They never left. He pulls nothing off of his face, only for a pair of round glasses to materialize in his hands. I just learned how to hide them. He puts the glasses back onto his face, reapplying the invisibility hex. Back when the two of you were in high school, Oliver was a scrawny little guy, not that you were much better. Somewhere between the time you moved and right now, puberty hit him like a truck. Truck-kun strikes again. Oliver, do you want to grab some food with me? I know that I could use a bite. Only if I pay. No! And here it comes. Oliver's overcompensation. Yup, that's Oliver. Same guy you knew at 14. Some things really don't change. It is only the polite thing to do, seeing as how I initiated this conversation in the first place. But I suggested we go grab food. And I scared the ever-living shit out of you. I owe you. Therefore, I will pay. Hold up, the food here costs money? I thought that was part of the meal plan. Well, I was thinking of going somewhere a bit nicer to eat than the food halls. You think back to how your classmates fawned over him. Yeah, most guys would kill for that kind of attention. Maybe even you would. Still, you know that Oliver's never been that type of guy. Besides, wouldn't want this to hang out to get ruined by some jerks. Alright, let's get going then. The two of you rush out of the stout great tower. Two of you chat on the way to wherever Oliver wanted to eat. That Truck-kun reference is definitely like a foreshadowing. This is going to end horribly, with Truck-kun's face plastered on the screen. You notice that he stays the heck away from large crowds of people, burying his face in his scarf whenever approaching. Thankfully, for him at least, the heavy snowfall has dissuaded the majority of the school from staying outside for too long. Oliver seems completely unbothered by the cold, even if his face is slightly flushed. While you struggle to walk, he almost levitates above the snow. He leaves shallow footprints behind. Oliver, are you sure you're not some kind of ice or wind mage? You're pretty sure that ice and wind magic are common on his mother's side of the family. So it's not like your predictions are coming from buttfuck nowhere. You pick up your pace, hoping to warm up a bit. How was it in Los Pecadores? I'm gonna butcher this. Los Pecadores. Sure. Huh, it was pretty similar to what I remember from Libretto City. Just much, much hotter. Don't think I've ever seen it snow like this. I'd be more concerned if that were the case in Los Pecadores. That would be the result of a rogue ice mage. Unless you were in some region of high altitude. But you live near the coast, right? Yup. Sadly, I don't think I could go swimming here. That would be a horrible idea. I do not know which fraternity did this, but they had some activity involving diving into a frozen river. Most of the people involved wound up in the hospital wing. Everyone was in such terrible shape that a restriction hex was placed on almost all bodies of water on campus. Sheesh, here I was thinking the hazings at my old school were bad. Come to think of it, I doubt that the fraternity was doing a hazing ritual. Someone said something about it being normal activity. Didn't you say you're a junior mage? How do you not know about the fraternity's shenanigans? The closest I've ever gone to a fraternity was the Honors Society. Ah, I see. I might join a fraternity if I'm sure my classes won't be too hard. When you do, just tell me if they ever violate school policies. Can't snitch on the Brotherhood. You are smart enough to know when you're in danger, though, right? Fuck yeah! So, when you are initiated, you'll run away if they make you eat a frog. What's wrong with eating frogs? Tastes like chicken. You're taken back to that time when Oliver's father made dinner. All you remember was tasty, scrumptious frog legs. Would you be fine with living frogs? Hell no! I'm not eating a frog if it hasn't croaked. Oliver smiles and nods his head at you. Then the two of you continue walking, and walking, and walking through the deep snow. So... we've been walking for how long now? We're almost there. Where are we going? Somewhere. That's not an answer. I think you might like something from where we're going to. Alright, Oliver. I'm trusting you not to fuck up my taste buds. Yeah, you're eating raw frog tonight, bro. Two of you continue chattering away about random stuff. Like the school's campus. Base jackets, by the way. For some reason, you expect there to be much more structure to the campus. In the sense that you thought there would be fences, pathways, signs, all that good stuff. Here you are, though, out and about with Oliver Cypress in the middle of a peaceful forest. It's too nice for a first day at college. Two of you arrive at a small cafe. Oliver, being the absolute gentleman he is, holds the door open for you. It's so warm in the cafe that you can feel the snow on your clothing melt off. But it's not so hot to the point where you want to strip on the spot. Must be some damn good fire magic. Do you mind finding seats for us? I have to do something. It should be quick. Not a problem. Oliver walks towards the front counter where a young woman stands. Meanwhile, you have free range of the cafe. There's almost no one here at this time. You opt for a seat near the windows. It offers quite the scenic view. I like the wholesome stuff. Although, knowing Lemonade and some of the things they've mentioned so far, I don't think this will be wholesome throughout the whole series. But this episode sure is, and that's awesome. I love me some wholesome stuff. You opt for a seat near the windows. It offers quite the scenic view. Makes you feel like one of those rich kids in a mountain chateau. Chat. Once staring out the window gets boring, you turn your gaze towards Oliver. Due to the distinct lack of people, you easily make out the conversation. Hey, Oliver. Good morning, Emma. How has everything been going for you in the cafe? Everything's been going amazingly. The cafe's doing much better than I thought. Now, as for you, you're usually not here so late. What brings you here past 7 in the morning? I have something for you. He sifts through his pockets. You don't know how much shit's in there, but it's enough that it takes Oliver a good while to find whatever he needs. Here. The bag is neatly folded, complete with a fancy wax seal. Oh, Oliver, you didn't have to. How much time did you spend on this? Don't worry about it. Come on, I've got to pay you back somehow. You haven't a clue as to whether or not the blend is good yet. Well, you've never made anything that makes everyone vomit their guts out. Still, that's the bare minimum for coffee. If a blend is making everyone vomit, there is something seriously wrong with the plants. Perhaps something went wrong with cultivating the plants. Maybe I messed up a step. Or maybe the entire water supply is contaminated, and it's an issue much, much larger than just a few coffee plants, and... Oliver pauses while Emma stares at him. Sorry, I really need to stop doing that. Nah, you keep ranting, brother. I'm a rant bro, too. Nah, it's fine. It's kind of funny hearing you list that stuff out. Anyways, I owe you. Alright, I have someone I'd like to introduce you to. Oliver looks over to where you're sitting at. You scurry over to the counter, taking care not to bump the tables. Hey, name's Adrian. Nice to meet you. I'm Emma. Never seen you around here before. I just arrived here yesterday. Ah, that explains it. Well then, hope you've been liking it here so far. Thanks, it's been amazing so far. And after only one class. So Emma, since you want to pay me back, do you mind giving Adrian some recommendations on what to eat? What are you in the mood for, Adrian? Ginger whispered to me, say ass. I am in the mood for some booty, actually. Thank you for that. Good morning, Merkla. Breakfast or lunch? You know what? I'm a fucking breakfast person. Yo, hit me with that breakfast sandwich. Or whatever you got, actually. You know, I'll take some fruit, too, honestly. Guess that I'll get some breakfast. In that case, I know exactly what to give you. And you, Oliver, want the usual. Now, how did you know? Plus, you know, breakfast? You're gonna get a coffee, bro. I bet you, bro, Oliver's just gonna have a black coffee. What the fuck? Now, how did you know? Barista's intuition. I'll be paying for Adrian and myself. Oliver hands Emma several glimmering coins, which she puts into the cash register. She then rushes to prepare the food and coffee. Nice coffee! Look, guys, I don't eat breakfast every day. In fact, I only eat it twice, maybe twice a week. I didn't even eat it today. I only eat it on my weekends, but I really like to make a nice breakfast. Nice breakfast on the weekends is a great way to start your weekend, okay? Best way to do it. And if your breakfast is just a cup of joe, that's good too. Skipping breakfast is a constant? I mean, that's fine. You can do what you want. But I like breakfast. I like breakfast food a lot. I'll eat breakfast for dinner. Fuck, man. I don't care. I love breakfast food. But Canadians also have a really based breakfast, like, selection. We have some pretty great options. You know, I don't blame you if your breakfast is, like, literally just a piece of toast. She then rushes to prepare the food and coffee. In the meantime, you and Oliver wait by the counter. I didn't know that you had more friends. You didn't expect that, did you? What's your favorite breakfast food? My favorite thing is French toast. I make it. If I make French toast, we use brioche bread, and I always use caramel and bananas with Canadian maple syrup. Delicious. A little bit of whipped cream. But also, if I'm not feeling something sweet and I want savory, Eggs Benedict has been kind of my jam lately. Sorry, my hollandaise. Yeah, it's been amazing. I love it lately. I don't know why. You didn't expect that, did you? Chat, tell me your favorite breakfast. I'm going to ask this again, because we asked this in the last visual novel I played. So why not again? Tell me it this time. Remember back when he only had you? Sure, some people might think of this as ditching you for other people, but you're happy for him. How could you not be? Nah, I always thought that eventually you wind up popular with the ladies. Egg. 6 eggs! Eggs Woodhouse. Excuse me! You want wood with your eggs? A piece of bread. Oh, God. Now I see why so many people don't like breakfast. Short rib Yorkshire pudding Benny from the pub. Comes with Parmesan tater tots. Okay! Okay, I said breakfast. Oh my God. What the hell was this? That is not your favorite breakfast. That's... Are you from that pub? Are you the owner of the pub? Right now. Tell me right now. Hi. That's fucking hilarious. You know, that's fine. Toast with cream cheese and avocado with chia seeds and coffee. Based. You would agree when you go there. I bet I fucking would. I don't know if I'd eat that for breakfast. Sounds good, though. Omelet with based! That was a good go-to combo for me, too, actually, when I was younger. Omelette du fromage with pancakes. Two pancakes based. Nah. I always thought that eventually you'd wind up popular with the ladies. Sorry. I'll play the game. You're getting quite ahead of yourself here. Your order's ready. Oliver retrieves the food and coffee. You then escort him over to the seats you picked out. As you sit, he slips his coat off and drapes it over the back of the chair. Drapes. Oliver begins to sip his hot coffee. You never understood his coffee obsession. The closest you can think of is that it's similar to your energy potions. Just be like me and drink both. Still, you don't know how he drinks it so plain. Then again, you also know how much he hates energy potions. This is pretty good. Croissant! Croissant! Oh, fresh croissant is so good, though, honestly. You speak in between bites. You realize that Oliver hasn't removed his silky gloves. Omelets taste too much like egg.
Brother, it is egg.
Brother.
Also
What did I just read?
Cover it in ketchup.
Excuse me, did you just say an omelette tastes too much like egg? The main ingredient in omelettes. Okay, well, you, my friend, need to try Western omelets, you know, from American diners, okay? Because in America, we pack that shit with a bunch of toppings, so it won't be too much egg for you, I swear, okay?
Keep drinking it. Keep it away if you want it.
There's like nothing left in it.
There's some left.
Ginger drank all the milkshake.
You didn't take it away from me.
Cold hands. I just like keeping them on. Even while eating crummy stuff? Oh, come on. You just said it was good. It's not crummy. You motioned towards the little sandwich on his plate. Oh, you actually had a sandwich? Oh my, I thought for sure it'd just be a coffee. And he just levitates it towards his mouth. You almost forgot he could just do that. Oh, shucks. I thought I had you there. Oliver's face contorts to a slight smirk. Or instead of magic, I could just use silverware. Hell no. You're not about to eat that with a fork, are you? No, it's a knife. First off, my gloves would get ruined if I ate the sandwich with my hands. Second, there's no difference between eating with silverware and hands. They both get the job done. Yikes, bro. Oliver, I'm gonna have to disagree. Bro. There's some things that just work better, okay? And lastly, It's how my mother taught me. Proper form, or something along those lines. Ah. Yeah, I think I remember her. How hoity-toity she was back when you'd visit Oliver. She'd always mockingly refer to you as Oliver's little friend, even after you told her your name. Adrian isn't too difficult to pronounce, and even if it was, she never bothered trying. Speaking of which, how is she? You think nothing of the question, fairly mundane, how's the weather type stuff? Oh god. Clearly, this isn't all that mundane for him. She's in a much better place now. Sheesh. Well, you asked, he answered. And at least Oliver seems to trust you enough with this information even after all this time. Don't feel too bad. I'll get over it. Besides, this is not the first time dealing with something of the sort. Damn. You gotta be lying right now, right? No one just gets over this kind of shit that quickly. Some people never get over it, in fact. Did you say womp womp? No, I didn't hit him with the womp womp. How's everything been for your family, ever since the move and all? You could tell that he's trying to steer the conversation away from stuff about his mother. My family. You remember that sometimes you'd send a bird to mail stuff to Oliver? You'd never get any confirmation that he'd actually received the letter, though. I mean, I'm not in the mood to talk about it now, but you know from the stuff I've sent you in the past. Wait, you've sent me mail? Yeah, I just sort of, kind of thought... Just thought you'd moved on from me. No, that's not... Oliver rests his face in his hand. Yeah, my mother must have just threw it in the fucking trash. I mean, what? I never even knew that you tried to get into contact with me. Oh. For some time, it's completely silent between the two of you. Oliver looks like he's thinking about something. You can hear whispers of cursing. No, not magical cursing. Cursing as in fuck, shit, crap, fucking bitch. That kind of cursing. The best kind! Then it stops. Adrian, I'm sorry that I never wrote to you. It's alright. I mean, you didn't even know about the mail. It doesn't excuse the fact that I didn't even try to contact you. It's not that big of a deal. Is it not? For some time it was. The thought of him moving on without you. That was pretty sad for a considerable amount of time. Oliver, it's okay. Really, it is. This is a, I believe this is a alternate universe to, the Cardinal Park case. Because I don't believe Oliver in the Cardinal Park case is a wizard, Harry. Really, it is. You take his hands into yours. But I believe the way Lemonade wrote in their description is that the characters are still themselves. They still, do the same things, characterization, personality-wise. They're still the same person, just with a different life, I guess, if that makes sense. Take his hands into yours. I will make up to you, somehow. Oliver. Probably his only trait you find annoying. This desperation to make up for something, no matter how trivial. He could break your pen, then try to revive your dead sister to make up for it. I have a dead sister? Alright, want to know how you can make it up to me? Don't do anything. Triple question mark. I'm serious. In all honesty, the fact that you're hanging out with me and all is enough. You are the reason why we're hanging out again after all. You know that I'm unable to just do nothing. Seems persistent. You whip up the simplest thing he could do for you, just to ease his nerves. In that case, I want you to hang out with me for the rest of the year. I am the new kid, after all. Wouldn't want me to be lost in the system. Of course. You smile at Oliver. Nice. Now trap him. Empreg this boy. Empreg this twink now! The two of you finish up eating. Oliver gathers the plates up and returns them to the front counter. He then slips his heavy coat on over his shoulders. Next thing you know, you're back outside. On the way back to the academy, you realize that Oliver's walking in pure silence. You almost want to attribute it to the biting air. But you do wonder if the conversation in the cafe has anything to do with it. You can't tell what he's thinking. Is he blushing? Hey, Oliver, you okay? Or is he sad? He jolts out of his trance. You're just zoning out a bit. No, sorry. I just have something on my mind. You want to tell him that you're here to listen, but you also know that you don't have the right to prod further into his life. You do. Be his best friend. Now. After escorting Adrian back to the academy and providing him with some more company, you retreated to your dormitory. You sit at your desk, then gaze out the massive window. White snowflakes drift from the inky sky. It's the perfect backdrop for drafting Professor Incendio's lesson plans. You've always had a love-hate relationship with winter. It's a beautiful season despite the death at every corner. You know that all too well. You feel the wind whispering in your ears. Oh, God! No! My boy Oliver! No! You feel her whispering in your ears. This isn't any normal wind. It stings. Oh, God. You can barely make out any words. Do you think? Well, we will theory craft after. I will at least, okay? You, me, apart. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Goodness, not this again. Looks like the ceiling hex didn't work all too well. With him left me. I thought that you were out of my life. Never. You, me, forever. Oh, God. You close the curtains. So much for getting some air in the room. This is the first time she's wind whispered to you in a while. Why now, of all times? Of course, that's a trivial question when you think about it for more than a second. You might be a fucking idiot, but you're not that dense. I know that you're out there. Somewhere. I won't let you take those I love away from me. Never. Again. Even after pulling the velvet curtain shut, cold air seeps into the room. You can hear her angry whispers outside. You huddle a bit closer to the fireplace. She's pissed, like always. Some things never change, do they? This is the end of the episode. Want to save here? Hell yeah, I do. You can turn here once episode 2 is out. Thank you for playing. Yeah, I didn't think she was dead. That bitch will live anything. That bitch will survive. He would have said, I feel like Oliver would have said she died if she had died. I feel like he's the type of person to say that. But I feel like he's also the type that can't say it with like a straight face if she's just not there. Do you guys want to see the other options? Maybe. Let's go see the other options, okay? Fuck no. Try your best on each and every question, thinking hard for the trickier ones. Oh, wait, did I just fuck that up? Oh, wait, whoops. Whoops. Wrong option. Yeah, give up. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, give up. You write down absolute bullshit for each question you don't know. Mostly because you genuinely don't know these questions. Seems like your peers also don't know. At least half of them are scratching their heads in confusion. A good chunk of the packet is either blank or filled with garbage. The questions you did were so trivial that you'd have no clue how you got into Magic College without them. On the flip side, you're one of the first people done with the quiz. See, you might have done shit on this. But at least you have time to grind out textbook readings before your next class. Quiz in hand, you walk up to the front desk and place the packet on top of the others. Right by Oliver. Okay, this is the same. Looks like this quiz was an absolute bloodbath. Rush back to your desk. Okay, maybe I can hit skip. No, there's no skip. No! The other options don't change much. No! I'm gonna still pick them. I'm still gonna do them right now. Not yet. Lunch. What's the image? Is it still gonna be a croissant? Yeah, wait. Wait. Is it still gonna be a croissant? Croissant. Croissant. I wanna know. I wanna know. The sandwich! Okay, that's fine. Good old lettuce sandwich. Based. Okay. Game end. To title. Yes. Ah! Ah, no, sandwich. They're quite dusty, honestly. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. This was Love in Everblood, Episode 1. Lovely visual novel, Lemonade, as always. But also, I actually really enjoy this one. I like wholesome shit. Obviously, this is not going to be completely wholesome as we move forward. Looks like Oliver's mother, spoiler alert, is still the same person from the Cardinal Park case, but this time she is fucking magic. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, that's great. I can't wait to see what happens there. Definitely excited for this after Lemonade finishes the Cardinal Park case, which you are going to be finishing, right, Lemonade? Anyways, I really enjoy it, though. It's really great. And I do like that their characterization, Oliver's characterization is kind of still on point. Thank you. It's good. I like it. The art, fantastic. Music, fantastic as always. I love it. It's great. You keep rocking on. And this was also made for NaNoRenO, which I believe is a 1-month limit, right? So this was made in a month. That's pretty amazing, too. Honestly, all things considered, this was a great demo / part 1, episode 1. Good reason I'm updating this after TCPC. I feel like I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, honestly. I'm fine with that. I can't wait to see the end of TCPC either, okay? I can't wait to see the end of that either. I'm honestly loving it, okay? But with that, I'm clocking out. You think there might have been like some kind of magic? Is there some kind of magic, or did they actually just forget each other because they were both like nerdy guys and then now they're kind of like twinky guys? Maybe they just actually forgot. I don't know. 5 years is not a lot of time to me to forget what someone looks like. But also, it looks like the mom didn't. Either of our moms, I guess, liked each other very much, like their kids very much. Well, I guess Oliver's mom likes him too much. Ugh, shivers. But it's interesting. I'd love to see where it goes. I do like the yaoi. I'm not gonna lie. I do like it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So, impossible to forget someone you were so close to in only 5 years. 5 years is more than enough time for me to forget. The duality of man. The duality of man in 2 comments right next to each other. It's impossible. Yeah, I'd fucking forget. Good night. If you're having a good night, have a good night. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Clock, if you forgot, and I play games like this every day. So if you're new here, please clock that like button and subscribe for more. If you don't know what Lemonace's other games are, they're all amazing. They're all set in the same universe, I guess, except for this one. This is kind of like an AU alternate universe kind of series, but other games are all, and they will still teach you about characters like Oliver. You'll see Oliver in almost every single one of their other games. Really great series. I'll have that linked at the end of the video in the same playlist of Lemonace games. Definitely make sure to check it out. They're all really great RPG Maker games, but and visual novels. So yeah. And if you want to see even more content after that, I do daily uploads on the YouTube, visual novels, indie games, horror games, dating sims, everything pretty much on the channel. Every day a new game. So thank you so much. And to everybody who is still watching, you guys are awesome. Subscribed already. You guys are great. We're almost at 30K. When we hit 30K, I'm going to be doing a big 12-hour, at least 12-hour long live stream for all of you guys. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So when we hit that 30K, we'll have a huge celebration, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'll make sure to plan it out, okay? And with that, I'm clocking out. So everybody have a good night. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Ah.